Shalom. This is the bread and half from GMS Jamaica Camp, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Makar Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone, who rule and teach the world through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Peace, love, and salutations to the Akims in the four corners of this earth, pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. To the believers, the Elps, the speckled bird Akims and Aquats out there who are tuned in, listening and learning with hopes of being saved. Shalom. So we should be as pilgrims upon the earth, right? We should get into that pilgrim mindset, right? And what's a pilgrim, or who is a pilgrim, right? Pilgrim is a traveler, literally one who comes from far, right? And who is on a journey to a holy place, right? Who is on a journey to a holy place. So that pilgrim is from one country going to a next. Maybe he has to pass through many different countries, but that holy place that he's journeying to, that's his final destination. That's his stop. So therefore, on his journey, he doesn't stop and take his rest um in one country or one place and stays there forever, yo, right? He may stop for a night or two or a day or two, but he knows that he must continue. He knows that he must pass where he has stopped. Therefore, in order to reach his goal, which is the holy place, and we should arm ourselves with the same mindset that we are still on that journey. That holy place is the kingdom to come, New Jerusalem, yeah? And we're still on that journey. So until we reach that journey, right, we shouldn't find rest in this that goal. We shouldn't find rest in this place, right? We shouldn't try and find consolation or solace on this in this earth or on the journey. We're still on that journey. We haven't completed it yet. Still going, yo, you know. So we should basically arm ourselves with the mindset of we are pilgrims. Therefore, we're gonna pass through this land, yo, this earth, this rulership, Esau, Edom's rulership, right? So when we pass by, everything that we owned on this side will go along with it, yo, right? Will go along with it because that's the thing of a pilgrim, yo. Whatever he has with him from the start, that's what he intends to keep until the end, yo. Right? We had nothing from the start. We were born naked upon this earth, yo. You know, we started out the journey naked on this earth. We didn't start with riches. We didn't start with gold. We didn't start with fiat currency, cars, houses, women. Women did start with husbands as well. We didn't start. Well, we started out with family, yes. You know, but we took on that journey. We took on that journey where only a few will walk, and those who you're walking with becomes your family, right? And so until we reach our goal, we shouldn't be comfortable on this side, and we should be willing to lose everything for that goal, yo. That goal, not gold, right? So it says second Ezra 16 and 20 and 40. O my people, hear my word, make ye ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. He that buyeth as one that will lose. He that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it. And he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap. So also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. Right? So I'm not saying you shouldn't do these things because all these things are profitable. Right? But at the same time, while you're doing this, while you're planting your farm, right? While you're building a house, right? Building up your merchandise, arm yourself with the mindset that this is gonna pass, right? Be ready to lose it. Be ready to cut it off in a blink of an eye, yo, because you know that ultimately this isn't what you're gonna settle with. You know that you're going for something else. You know that you have a main goal, right? And you have to lose these trivial things to accomplish that goal, to reach that point. You know, this is what the scripture is telling you. So even though you get this, be as though you don't have it, right? and it's the same thing for family as well. We should be as though we don't have a family. Should be as though we don't have everything that we work hard to earn on this side. You know, whatever you might have in your possession, your farm, you plant, whatever you plant up, right? Count it lost. It's already gone, yo. You know, says says they that marry as that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widows. Therefore, they that labor in vain, right? Because really and truly, yo, for all our labors, it won't last. You know, all our labors won't last. You know, and all that labor that you put in, if you don't arm yourself with the mindset that you will lose it, right? Because you're just passing by, or this earth is just, this world is just passing by. That is, right? When you lose it, right, you're gonna feel destroyed. You know, you feel like you lose out because you were too attached to it. And that's the thing of a pilgrim. A pilgrim isn't attached to anything. You know, he's just passing through. You know, doesn't get attached to the people of the city. He isn't attached to family. He isn't attached to wealth. Right? He isn't attached to anything. He only has one goal in mind, and that's to reach that holy place, reach where he wants to go. Yo. And that should be our eye. The scripture tells us that our eye should be single. We should only have one goal. That's the kingdom to come. Right? So hey, that's it on that. Get Matthew real quick. This is Matthew 8 and 18. It says, no, when Yahushua saw great multitudes about him, he gave commandment to depart unto the other side. A certain scribe came and said unto him, Master, I will follow thee whatsoever thou goest. And Yahushua said unto him, the foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man doth not where to lay his head, hath not where to lay his head. Right? And that's because Yahushua and the disciples were pilgrims, yo. Right? They didn't have a set place, you know. They were always on the move, yo, going about, right? Reaching the gospel. And we should basically be likewise. We should arm ourselves with the same mindset, yo. Not saying that you're gonna move around from house to house, wandering the street, teaching. No, yo. Right? Mentally, right? We shouldn't be attached to anything. We shouldn't be subjected to anything on this side, right? Because I would all everything on this side will be destroyed, yo. Everything on this side will be brought down. Our true treasures are in heaven, yo. Right? And that's where we're going, to our true treasures. So why will we stay on this side? Why will we hinder? Mm? Or what will hinder us? What what should we make hinder us on this side? It's Matthew 6 and 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And that's true, yo. So because our treasures are in heaven, right? That's where our heart is, yo. So whatever we lose on this side, and I mean whatever, family, friends, women, children, wealth, comfort, anything you lose on this side, it won't affect you. You already counted loss because this isn't where your care is. Your care is actually in heaven. And you know that you're losing all of this because you're on this journey to get greater riches, to get greater things, yo. Yahushua told the disciples, yo, right? That whosoever follow him, In the regeneration, the Son of Man comes, whatever them lose, they'll get it back 100-fold. And that's literal, yo. 100-fold, that's literal, right? So why will we stop in this world where your treasures can be stolen, where it is corrupted by our leaders, yo, especially Esau, Edom, which govern this world, you know? It's just like Abraham, right? When Abraham was told, and I can get that in Hebrews 11, when Abraham was told to get up and go to the promised land, Abraham had to pass through different countries, right? And within those countries, they had rulers. But did Abraham stop and try to build a life or start his life out or be comfortable in one of those countries? No, he only passed through, yo. He only passed through. And it's the same with us now, right? We're passing through Esau Edom's world, Esau Edom's rulership, right? So we shouldn't stop here and try to build a life here, yo. Try to be comfortable here, thinking that Esau will be joint heir with us in his rulership. No, we should just pass through, yo, and get to our own rest, get to our own kingdom that Yahweh Shemeshah is bringing. And that's what we're doing right now. So whatever we lose on this side, right? Whatever we lose right now, that won't bother us. That shouldn't bother us because we know, say, oh, this isn't this isn't ours anyways, right? Our true treasures are where we're going, and that's in the kingdom of heaven. And that's to come, New Jerusalem, yo, right? So Hebrews 11, verse 10. Uh, Start at 8. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out not knowing whither he went. Right? By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which had foundations, whose builder and maker is Yahweh. And that's what we're looking for as well, yo. That's what we're sojourning to. A city where the builders, whose builder and maker is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Right? So it says, through verse 11, through faith also. Well, I won't go to verse 11, I'll jump to verse 13. It says, these all died, and basically these all is referring to all the faithful accounts that are written of the different persons back then, It says, and all these died in faith, not having received the promise, but having seen them afar off, and we see the promise afar off, yo. That's what we're sojourning to. And were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims upon earth, yo. Right? And we should be like that, yo. Strange, because a stranger is someone that isn't of a particular nation, yo. Right? Like us Israelites, if we go in the land of Moab, we're strangers in the land of Moab, yo. Right? And if you're a stranger in the land of Moab, ultimately you're just gonna pass through, yo, because you won't want to dwell among the Moabites continually. You want to dwell among your people, among Israelites. So we should be strangers upon the whole earth, because what Esau is ruling right now, yo. So we're strangers. We don't want to dwell among Esau. We don't want to dwell under the thumb of Esau. We want to dwell under the thumb of Yahweh Shem Shai and among Israel. It says, and pilgrims on the earth. Right? It says, and confess that they were strangers and pilgrims upon the earth. And that's what we should be as well. Strangers and pilgrims upon earth. We're just passing through though, and that's a fact ultimately. Right? We're just passing through. So we shouldn't try to lay up treasures while we're passing through. We shouldn't try to gather treasures while we're passing through. It will just make the journey heavier. And that's why Yahweh Shai told us that it's harder for a rich man to enter the kingdom and a camel to go through the eye of a needle, you know? Because if we try to gather riches on this journey, it's more burdensome, it's more heavy, because to let go from all the labor, and that can happen to any man, even me myself, yo. You work so hard, you get what you get. Of course, it's kind of hard to let it go, yo, because of all the effort that you put into it, right? And that's why we shouldn't really shouldn't really try, or we shouldn't really seek after these things, yo. We should get the bare minimum, yo. Be users of the world, but not abusers, yo. Our day to day, yo, right? Our day to day, because as a pilgrim, that's what they got as well. Their day to day, yo. Stopped at a home there and here, ate, be on their way. That's how it was, yo. They didn't try to build mansions in every city that they passed. They didn't try to be as the world would have it today, successful entrepreneur or anything like that, yo. Right? They only had one. Their eyes were single. Only had one goal in mind. That's to reach that holy place. Right? All these disciples, the men of old, the righteous men written in Hebrew here, that were faithful. They only had one goal. They were looking for the promise to come, yo. Right? So they counted everything lost. Paul says it, yo, and he says, doubtless, yeah, doubtless, I count everything lost. Right? For you have watched me shy. Roughly paraphrase that, yo. Because what Paul was on a journey, and that journey is to the promise that was offered to us through our forefathers by Yahweh Hashem Shai. And that's what we are on a journey for as well, right? So let me say, Micah 2 and 10, arise ye and depart. This is not your rest, right? Psalms 23, right? Psalms 23, yo. Ye leadeth me beside the still waters, and that still waters, right? That's a place of rest, yo. You know what I mean? That's a place of rest. It says, yes, alright, it says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, yo. You know? And we're walking through the shadow of the valley of death right now, yo, which is this earth and all the dangers that come with it, all the wickedness that comes with it, right? But tells us there that most I will lead us to rest, yo. It says, He leadeth me to still waters. So Micah 2:10, yo, rise and depart. This isn't our rest, yo. Right? We shouldn't look at this world as this setup as our rest, yo, because it isn't. This isn't our rest, yo. This isn't the holy place that we're sojourning to. It's nigh at hand, but this isn't it, right? um since I'm in Hebrews, let's get Hebrews 13:14. It says, for here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. And that's so true, yo. That's so true. We don't have a this isn't our continuing city, yo. This isn't where we look to have our children. This isn't where we look to have family. This isn't where we look to live out the rest of our lives, yo. Right? We're sojourning to that place. We're moving to that place. So whatever we have to lose on this side, yo, I will count it lost already, yo. Without a shadow of doubt. Yahweh Hashem Shai puts us in a position to, hey, give up what we have to give up. Hey, with a snap, without hesitation, yo, we should be able to give that up, yo. You know? We should be able to give that up. Second Peter 3:10. Get Second Peter 3:10. Yeah, and I'll close out with Second Peter, yo. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and it's like in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. And that's a Mystery Babylon, the Great America, which will be burned by thermonuclear fire, yo. So for those of us who are over there in Mystery Babylon, yo, what do you think will survive that thermonuclear blast, yo, right? So what Why lay up for yourself treasures on that side when it will all be destroyed, yo? Literally, right? It says seen then that all these things shall be dissolved, and all these things, oh, all over the world, yo, right? Everything will be brought low, everything will be brought down. The Most High, eh, Isa talks about a great reset, and the Most High is gonna bring a factory reset, yo, right? Because when you reset something, you only start it over, restart it. But when a factory resets a device or something, it wipes everything clean, yo, and that's what the Most High is gonna do, yo. Most High is gonna bring a clean slate to the whole earth, you know. So if the Most High is gonna do that, yo, not mean anything that you lay up for yourself on this side will be destroyed or do away with. You see that though? But what? When the Most High do away with everything on this side, He's gonna bring the everything that He wants, the kingdom. He's gonna bring the kingdom. He's gonna set up a new way of life, yo. And for those who've invested in that new way of life, the kingdom to come with righteousness, they're gonna be the ones that are better off in the end, right? They're gonna be the ones with the last laugh, yo, right? It says looking for and hasting on to the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall dissolve, the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. That's what we're sojourning to, yo. That's where the journey leads to. So on the journey, let's not try to gather up things that will burden us on the journey, or basically stop us from enduring to the end of the journey, right? So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying to the lector out there, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shmi Haushai, Washem Kodash. The honors again to the apostles and elders of James Great Millstone, who teach and rule well through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shmi Haushai. Peace, love, and salutations to believers, the helps, the sincere Akims and Akwats out there who are tuned in, listening and learning. Shalom.